Alright, so all you'll need to fold the F-22 Raptor is an 8.5 by 8.5 square sheet of paper in inches. So what I did here is I took a sheet of printer paper and then I folded it in half diagonally, like this, and then cut off the remaining bottom section. So I recommend using this printer paper for flight models, but if you want to make a display model, then you can use origami paper or foil paper if you want. So here I used the printer paper because I'm going to make a flight model, and it's pretty easy to teach with it. So let's begin. Start by folding your paper diagonally in half. Unfold, and do the same thing the other way. Then turn over and fold both ways in half. Make sure you make really precise creases. Fold in half the other way. I sometimes use my fingernails to line up the paper well. Alright, and now once you have all these, what you can do is make a preliminary base or fold. So here you have it. Alright, now with this base, with the flaps facing you, fold one of the layers up to the top point. Turn over, and then fold these two top sections down to the center, and make sure that the flaps are still facing the bottom. Like that. Then fold the bottom part up on these 2 points where the creases that we just made enters the side of our paper. Like that. Now let's fold these sides so that these edges line up with the edge that we just made. Like that. And repeat on both sides. Now fold these layers over here to the edges. And then fold these corners so that it's paper airplane fold to the previous fold we just made. Now, unfold what we just folded, these small flaps, and then take these two flaps, and then fold the bottom edges to the edge we folded them to previously. Unfold these, and then unfold the bottom one. Now, turn over and then stand up one of these two flaps. And then open up the pocket. And then squash it down. And make the center crease that we're making align with the original center crease. Turn this flap over, and then do the same thing on the other side. Like this. Now turn over, and do the same thing on this side. It should be easier because this side is pre-creased. Now, on this side where we have this bottom flap, let's open up from the sides and then focus on this triangle. With this triangle, we can do a reverse fold and close along these creases. So we close in a new way. Same thing on the other side. Now, we can fold this entire thing up as far as it'll go. And we made a crease behind. Now, fold these two bottom flaps onto the center crease that divides the paper in half. As you can see, this edge is touching this crease. Unfold. And then now, refold them so that this edge touches this edge. Unfold. And then now, we can swing this over by grabbing onto this edge and then pulling it out, bringing the paper out like this, and then closing it back up. Now, take these flaps and then fold them up. And then now it's time to perform a relatively harder step. So on the origami book, I had kind of a little trouble with this, but I eventually figured out. So here it goes. So what we're going to do is open up and push behind like that. So we basically just unfolded this. And then as we open up, notice these 2 points. And at the back, we can push them like that and like that. Don't panic if your jet is unfolding. And then we can reverse the creases around it. And as we close it back together, the paper will close up in a new formation. What we basically did was pull the paper out from inside. And if you want to see it again, you can replay that part. Now, flip these flaps at the back over. So right now, from the back view, it looks like this. And if you push it forward, you use this crease at the top, you can pull it over. Same thing on this side. Crease everything out nice and sharply. Now what we want to do is fold these edges to these edges for pockets. Right now we're forming the back fins and the wings. And then put your hand into one of these pockets and then stretch it out until this crease will touch this point and our new crease will align with the back edge. Same thing on this side. Now fold these flaps so that the top edges touch the back edge. And now let's focus up here. Start by folding these flaps on the sides up until our new crease will be having the corner touch this intersection. So as you can see here, we have 2 creases coming by and they form this intersection right here. And then we want to fold this up so that the corner will touch the intersection and our new edge will align with this crease. Like that. Same thing on this side. Unfold, and then let's open up again and sync fold them. So let's first focus on this side. As I open up, over here, we have a triangle. Pinch along the side of the triangle and push it in. Do the same thing on this side. Pinch along the sides. And then we can recollapse. And sink in these edges. Now let's fold this top part up until it hits these two corners that won't make you fold up anymore. You can also make sure that the top point will align with the center crease. Make sure that's extra sharp. Now we're going to do a box pleat by opening up once again and then pinching along the new crease we made here. Now push in the new portion and then close up. Phew. Now we are done with all the opening up parts. Alright, now let's work on the tail fins once again. So fold these layers of flaps up so that this edge will touch the back edge and hit this corner. Like that. Same thing on the other side. And then now this next step will be kind of a little bit tricky. So what you do is take this inner flap and then pull it out like this, keeping this crease but pushing out. And now we can flatten this pocket by sweeping it out. Like that. Now I'm going to zoom in on the other corner so you can see better. Alright. So you pull this inner point out while pushing on this top part and trying to reinforce this crease and abandon this crease. So we swing the corner out and flatten. Like that. And then now reach into these pockets and then pull out the remaining paper. Now let's fold on this existing crease and then fold all the way over on this point. And now we have to prepare for another tricky step. So let's turn over and then open up from this layer to this layer. And then you can see this point inside where we can see right here, and then poke on it so that we reverse it. Like that. And then now with a new layout, this inner edge back here, we can grapple onto this layer and then kind of reform it, folding over this back edge. Like that. And then now we can bring this entire edge and make this corner touch the wingtip. And then now we'll have this layer that won't settle down. So in order to make this next step easier, we can first fold these two edges into the center. That way we get the flaps out of the way. And then now collapse this flap. So at this point, we'll land onto this corner and make the two edges align. Now let's repeat the same process on the other side. So open up to this layer, poke, and then grab this edge, and then swing the corner to the wingtip. Flatten everything out nice and smoothly. Alright, if you made it this far, then you're doing really well. Fantastic job, keep it up. So now, fold this flap onto this corner, and then make this edge touch the corner between this edge and this flap. Same thing on the other side. Now, pull out these flaps, and then let's recreate where it sits by flattening out this part too. And then the question is, what do we do with this standing part? Stretch it out all the way so it touches the corner. Like that. And then now, take out this layer from underneath and then put it back onto the top. And brush out this layer, like that. Now we have these remaining sections and we don't want them, and we also want afterburners. So in order to form them, we have this back section over here that we can take out and lift from underneath and flip to the top. And then now make a fold from this corner all the way to that point. This is really thin. And you have to be careful not to rip the paper. Same thing on the other side. Alright, finally we're done with all these, so now we can move on to the fun step. So what we're going to do is slide this layer out and make it touch here. And then we brush the extra paper all the way down into the bottom. And the bottom remaining paper that we just made is going to become our afterburner. Same thing on the other side. Solidify the new grease and brush out the paper to the bottom. Now let's form our afterburners. So we have this extra paper and we can push it back into our original crease. But then we're going to have this standing part. We can curl it in like this and then collapse it. Then form our fins by folding from this point to this corner. And do the afterburner step on the other side too. Now that we formed this edge of our afterburner, let's shift it forward one more level onto this crease. So roll all the paper out one more time. Collapse down to the new one. Same thing here. And if you're making a performance model, the afterburners are optional. We should still get rid of the paper so that it won't interfere with your fuselage. Now let's make the final details of our fins. Let's start by folding the tips in. Unfold them. Lift this up. And then fold to the crease. Fold the tip in. Fold this down. And then roll the entire thing over. So we made a reinforced fin. Like that. And then now, let's fold a crease starting from this point, and we're going to make it parallel with this edge. Now reverse them into the pocket. So we've locked the fins. And then let's turn over and then come into here and flip this layer and spread it out like that. Close it back up along this crease. These will be our reinforced wings. Alright. We reinforce everything, so now let's work on our fuselage. Unfold these. And then make a pedal fold up. And make these 2 points touch. And then open up these pockets at the bottom so that they lie flat. I'm just cleaning up the creases. Alright. Now on the top, fold these 2 flaps so that it touches the corner here, and then this corner up here will touch this crease, or the edge. turn over, unfold them, and then make a petal fold on these 2 points. Like that. And let's fold it back up so that this top part touches the top point. Alright, and the next step will be the hardest step in the entire plane. Here it goes. So reverse this crease down here and push all the paper down. And then use this crease here. While putting it in, hold these down. Alright, there it was. Now let's make the wing reinforcements by folding this entire flap over the edge. Now fold it halfway back up. And roll it over the edge. Alright, now let's work on the cockpit by first folding this tip to the intersection of creases. Then fold it back down on this corner and making this side touch the old side. And now do it this way. And then pull this paper out and push it out so we make part of the cockpit. Now turn it over. Do the same thing here. And then squash fold this part. Like this. And then fold these corners over. Then, to make the air intakes, starting from this corner, fold over. And make sure that our new edge touches the old edge. Unfold, and then inside reverse fold this. And put it into the top pocket. And then to lock the air intakes, I'd probably get tweezers for this. Oh well, I don't have them in hand right now. Let me just go get them. Okay, I'm back with the tweezers. Now what we want to do is to grab this flap and then fold it into the top pocket. Now let's fold these back over. And then inside reverse fold them. Basically, I swung these out so that we could come into the fuselage and then fold these flaps in. Alright, now let's finish the plane up. Fold the wings, the wingtips. And then perform spread squash folds. And if you're using foil, it's going to be really hard to do that. Now we want to make a crease from this point to these two corners. We're preparing for the jet fold. Pull out your bottom fuselage. Inside reverse fold part of the fuselage. Fold out the wings. Now stick one of the pockets at the back. Stick this flap into the pocket. and fold it over to lock it. Fold up the fins. Open up the afterburners. Like that. And open up the air intakes. And then you can continue to shape the jet to taste. And the missiles or bombs can go into here. And that's basically it. If the plane spins while it flies, what you can do is make rudder adjustments. And I hope you were able to fold it, you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye!